Hello. A shell noun is a noun that doesn't refer to a specific tangible object, but instead encapsulates it or packages or puts in a shell a whole idea, proposition or clause. Think of them as placeholders that shell an abstract meaning. So the content, the stuff inside, often follows the noun in a clause or phrase. Some common shell nouns include the following: fact, idea, issue, point, problem, reason, thing, situation, possibility, claim, assumption. Each of these can carry or point to complex information, but they look deceptively simple. So let's look at some real examples. The fact that she refused to attend surprised everyone. Well, what's the shell noun? The shell noun is the fact. And what's the content inside the shell? The fact that she refused to attend. Another example, his idea that we could solve it with AI is naive. Well, the shell noun is idea, and the content is that we could solve it with AI. Another example might be, the problem is that nobody trusts the system anymore. The shell noun is problem. The content is that nobody trusts the system. These nouns often appear with that clauses, WH clauses, infinitive phrases, or apposition structures. There are some grammatical patterns to watch for. So, as I said, a shell noun with a that clause. So, the belief that success is guaranteed is dangerous. There's an it be plus shell noun plus that or WH clause. So, it's a fact that we are facing a crisis. There's a there be shell noun plus relative clause structure. Like, there is a possibility that he may resign. And there are things like appositive constructions, such as the assumption that people always act rationally is flawed. These structures are very common in academic writing, legal language, and news discourse. So why do we care about shell nouns in English language teaching or writing instruction? Well, because they help students package complex ideas into concise units. Instead of he thinks that climate change is caused by humans, you might write something like, his belief that climate change is human caused is problematic or is complex, etc. It helps students sound more academic and objective. So shell nouns support nominalization and impersonal tones. It helps build cohesion, so shell nouns refer back to previous information or preview what's coming. And they add abstraction and control tone, so they're great for hedging, softening claims, or increasing formality. So how can you teach them effectively? Well, you can do matching tasks to match the shell noun to its content. You can do sentence expansion exercises. Start with a shell noun and ask students to complete it. So the problem is that, etc., etc. You can do rewriting tasks. So change a sentence into, for example, she refused to cooperate. That surprised us, and you change it into something using a shell noun. So the fact that she refused to cooperate surprised us. You can do genre awareness exercises, so you can compare informal versus formal texts, those containing shell nouns. And you can also do speaking prompts with shell noun frames. So one issue that really matters to me is, or the point I want to raise is that, blah, blah, blah. So to recap, a shell noun is like a grammatical suitcase. It holds an entire idea or proposition. It's essential for fluency in academic, formal, and abstract communication. And teaching shell nouns helps learners structure thought, build cohesion, and level up their writing. Thank you for watching.